Welcome back. Fox Weather is your Hurricane HQ, 53 short days away from the start of the 2026 Atlantic Basin hurricane season, and some of the brightest minds in the world of tropical weather are gathering on South Padre Island, Texas, for the annual National Tropical Weather Conference. Tomorrow, Colorado State University will release their highly anticipated, but not necessarily expected to be surprising, seasonal forecast. Fox Weather hurricane specialist Bryan Norcross is at the conference. Bryan, conference season immediately precedes the hurricane season, so we know we're getting close. What's the chatter there? I guess it's nice to be entering a new season for once without every single warning light flashing.
Yes, exactly. The fact that we are seeing forecasts for strong El Nino. El Ninos tend to suppress hurricane activity, certainly the talk here. But everybody here that studies hurricanes obviously knows that it only takes one. There's a long history of El Nino seasons that have produced damaging and disruptive hurricanes. So we're not taking our eye off the ball, and there's nobody here that is planning in any kind of different kind of way this year that they would, and the other year, even if the year was expected to be extremely busy. As you said, Ian, this is a significant group of people from all over the hurricane zone, people that are on the broadcast like we do, but also people that are doing research. They are creating visualizations for storm surge in particular neighborhoods, and the hurricane hunters, and we're going to hear from all these different kinds of people that are all part of the hurricane system. Today was National Hurricane Center Day. So we heard from Jamie Rome, Deputy Director, and Cody Fritz, who runs the Storm Surge Unit, about how their systems work, but also looking ahead to new ideas they have on how to use modern technology to provide new kinds of graphics and so forth. And they're asking for our opinion on how they should move forward. They've also asked emergency managers, and they'll ask other users, and then they'll make the decisions on moving forward. So the National Hurricane Center is moving much faster now than I've ever seen them in the 40-plus years that I've been dealing with them, incorporating AI and other kinds of techniques that are all new and making better forecasts and better visualizations that we can look forward to here in the years to come. Ian?
Yeah, Bryan, you mentioned the AI, which I know how hot of a topic this has been, but the DeepMind model, which you've here on Fox Weather kind of explained to all of us how it works and the black box aspect of that. Even the folks, though, there at the National Hurricane Center, you and I had a chance to talk about this earlier this week. We know the forecast was good, mostly for track, but for the structure of the storm, its intensity. What are they studying in the lead up to this? Because it's one good season, but we're moving into a whole different one now.
Yeah, so everybody has an open mind about the Google DeepMind model for sure, and there's nobody that wasn't really amazed on how right out of the box, the first time that they used it publicly, they labeled it experimental last year, by the way, because they just weren't sure what we were going to get from it, and the fact that we had such good results, and it was the best model for track out of all of the traditional models. Now, we're trying to keep an open mind about that. And also, by the way, I should say for intensity, it also was very, very good. It wasn't perfect. And there were examples where some other models were occasionally better, but net, it was spectacular. And by the way, I should also say that I worked a bit just on the fringes of the communications part of that model on their website, working with the Google people, but the scientists based in London really were the geniuses involved. And then this year, we have this potential El Nino coming, and there you see the chart from the European Center and what they're forecasting, and you see a lot of those lines up in that strong to super El Nino range. And so that kind of a pattern in the Pacific tends to suppress hurricane activity in the Atlantic because it creates hostile upper level winds. And if that comes into fruition, like you see there, the warm air rises in the Pacific, that can make more storms on the Pacific coast, as we saw in 2023 with Hillary and Otis, but generally fewer storms in the Atlantic in pure numbers. So How is the AI model going to react to that? In theory, it knows about El Nino seasons very well from the past.
Yeah.
So in theory, it's going to do fine. But again, we've only seen it for 1 year. So people are keeping an open mind, but I think that we're going to hear a lot about it, no question about it, in the year coming up, along with all the other new things the National Hurricane Center is working on.
It's a really good point, Bryan. As you said, it knows all about him, but it's never seen one. It's brand new, and it's the first time
Yes.
we're moving into this. So that feels like a slam dunk forecast. Very, very high probability of some intensity of El Nino occurring. How strong it gets is a question mark, sure. What are the real question marks then moving into this season? Is it sea surface temperatures in the heart of the season, the peak of it? Is it atmospheric stability? Is it Saharan dust?
Right, exactly. We have all these things that can happen as part of the hurricane season. Now, we had an El Nino, you can be forgiven for not knowing it or remembering it in 2023. But the reason that we still had a lot of storms is because the Atlantic was so warm. The tropical Atlantic was very warm, and so the El Nino created a negative effect, but then the warm Atlantic created a positive effect that almost overcame the negative effect. It turns out in the Atlantic side, we didn't have super consequential hurricanes. We had those two events in the Pacific. But sometimes the Atlantic can overcome the El Nino, but this year, the tropical Atlantic, where the worst storms generally come from, is not especially warm. So the thinking is that the El Nino will dominate the pattern. We still have kind of super warm temperatures farther north in the Atlantic, so if a storm does form and turns north, then we'll see. There's certainly no guarantee that we're not going to have to deal with hurricanes along the coast of the United States. It is hurricane season after all, and like I said, many El Nino seasons in the past have had significant hurricanes associated with them.
Yeah, it's a season of competing influences, which makes it complicated and unsettling at times. But we'll be following every bit of it. As we said, Fox Weather, your Hurricane HQ. That's our hurricane specialist, Bryan Norcross. Bryan, looking forward to hearing more about the conference and, of course, hearing your analysis of what Colorado State has to say tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, see you then.